Welcome back to In the Shop. It's a special treat today. We've got Beth Hill, the COO from The Shop. And we're going to talk about something that just literally happened. NADA 2026. It was pretty exciting. Everyone was running the engines hot. I've been saying that repeatedly for the last several days. And so, Beth, first place I want to start with you is, hey, this is the first year The Shop was at NADA exhibiting. What'd you learn? Any big takeaways?
Yeah, so much. I'm still processing it, Sean. And you're right. Everybody was running on all cylinders. First of all, what an amazing experience. And I want to start out by saying that I have so much gratitude in my heart right now to everyone who was involved with the shop expanding its presence at NADA 2026. We've been at NADA before, but sort of walking around and talking to people. This was our first year. Our second birthday, and we had our own small booth right across from the Ford booth, and it was an amazing experience that brought together vendors and dealers and our team and a lot of other people in the industry as well. And a big shout out to you. Thank you for coming and doing some on-site interviews and getting some of that great content from our vendor partners. It was an amazing experience all around. From the minute I got there during setup, and I was absolutely blown away about how amazing the booth looked and everything that we were doing in the booth, from the interviews to our vendor partners coming by to do demos, a chance to win a master's trip and all the other things we had going. It was truly an amazing experience.
And even a cameo appearance from that Austin Powers.
Powers, yes. One of our own vendors had Austin Powers look-alike, and boy, did he look exactly like him and in character the whole time. And that was a fun and exciting addition when he came over there, for sure. It got a lot of attention.
So very entertaining. Well, I mean, it was a treat for me. I was so glad to be there, and the energy was awesome in your booth the whole time. I want to ask, was there a common or maybe even a number one repeated dealer question that came up? This is the first time you had that access to all of the dealers that could come up as well as the vendors. Anything that came up over and over?
Yeah, so we had a couple of different types of questions that came up. And one of them, which we're not surprised about, and it's part of the reason why we did invest in our own booth, was, what is the shop? We're only 2 years old. We're new. So building that brand awareness is really, really key for us. So we had the opportunity to share that information with so many dealers, Ford and Lincoln dealers, as well as dealers in their groups. And we just really got to tell the industry what the shop is, this way to help our dealers save time, save money, and create peace of mind. So that was one question that came up. And then some of the other questions were, how do I participate in this? How do I learn about it? How do I talk to the vendors? And that was fortunately answered because we had a continuous schedule and a calendar of events over the entire duration of the show, where dealers got to talk to different vendors and in some cases do a demo. So we really were able to answer these questions with our presence at NADA this year.
Yeah, it was remarkable, actually. One of the things that I love about the shop is dealers go to NADA, some of them, to do research and shopping. And the shop is exactly that online as a marketplace. They can research and shop. You've done so much of it for them. It makes it easy, whether NADA is going on or not. And I love that. Okay, the next thing I want to ask you is, if you noticed, if so, what did you notice about where dealers get stuck in the journey in discovering a solution or trusting a vendor, getting buy-in? Is it onboarding? Is it proving the results? And are there ways to maybe reduce any of that friction? Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts, because essentially, every single thing you just mentioned is part of the reason why we created the shop. There are so many pain points inside a dealership in terms of choosing the right solutions for their dealership or their dealership group. And each one of those things, whether it's initial market research into what are the best solutions out there, negotiations with the particular vendor, the ability to understand and validate whether the results that the vendor is claiming that their solution supports and helps dealers with, and figuring out and validating whether it's accurate or not, and really differentiating between the many different solutions out there in the marketplace are why we created the shop. We've been working with vendors and vetting vendors for over 20 years. At FordDirect, and all of us in the shop have spent many, many years, some in excess of that, going on 30 years, talking to dealer solution providers, vetting solutions in the marketplace. So we're able to understand through the data that they give us, through speaking to dealers and through our vetting and curation process, how they can help dealers, and choosing and picking the right vendors to help them in each area, and then giving the dealers the ability to self-serve through the shop.
You just mentioned it. The shop's dealer positioning leans on vetted vendors, pre-negotiated pricing. And now you're just coming back from all these face-to-face conversations at NADA. Did the definition change? Did it evolve? Did it give you confidence that you're on the right track already? Anything there that maybe stood out in some of those conversations?
I think that it validated everything that we're doing. We have such an amazing group of vendors in the shop. The curation process that we have put together for vendor vetting and the partnership that results from it through the shop is really, it's really working. And our in-person conversations really validated that. And look, the shop's not going to be for every vendor, and it's not going to be a recreation of the NADA floor. That's not what we're trying to do. We are meant to be a helpful tool for our dealers to be able to sort through many of the areas of the dealership that are being served by the vendors and figure out which are the best tools and solutions for them. So being with them in person, having them at our booth, shaking their hands, there's always going to be a human element to this business. I really truly believe that. And no matter how many vendors we have in the shop, whether it's 35 like today, or 50 or 100 or 200 or 500 in the future, there will always be some component of a human in the middle, is what they call it, an AI, but a human in the relationship. Because at the end of the day, even if it is a fully automated technology solution, there are still human beings involved that have to learn how to use the solutions. Lots of things that have to happen before you decide to make some of these big purchase decisions. And it's the same for us in our vetting process. We actually want to talk to dealers to make sure that they're seeing the results that the vendor claims that they're achieving for the dealers. And similarly, we like to cultivate our relationships with our vendors so that we stay close to them. We meet with them on a regular basis to go through the goals that they have, and we talk through how we're going to help achieve those goals.
I love that. I think it's critical. I've heard it my entire career in automotive that our business is a people business, and I truly believe that. No matter whether you're in the retail side or service providers and vendors, and it's definitely fully on display with what you guys are doing. A booth is a real world stress test for people, for companies, their whole ecosystem. What did NADA reveal about maybe partner expectations? You know, you had people demoing from the booth. Any onboarding things? Were there operational things that stood out to you in this experience of having a booth for the first time?
Yeah, and just stepping back to your previous comment about it being a people business, um, again, that was probably one of the greatest things about this NADA. I mean, I've been to not as many as you have, but I've been to my fair share, at least a decade's worth of NADAs in the past, and this one was just next level. The people that you meet, the people that you interact with, from the dealers to the vendors to the industry relations folks and the people that are doing so many incredible things from a media perspective. It was truly an incredible NADA. And it showed me why there is so much value to being at that event and how important it is for our industry. It is that chance to meet and talk through, all the different things that we're all going through.
Mhm.
In terms of the stress testing, yes, I look at everything. I mean, I go back to the old Henry Ford quote, which is there's only winning and learning. And we have dipped our toe into this world with this NADA, with our small booth. So we had, we didn't know what to expect. I mean, some of us had been there, some of us hadn't. But it was, I would say it really, really went well. We had a lot of traffic. We had a lot of good interactions with our vendors who were at the booth and with conversations with our shop's core team that was there. But we have a list of all the learnings that we came out of. What are we going to do better next year? How can we generate more interest? How can we ensure that more people come to the booth and are talking to the different vendors that they're looking for at these different times? So there's a whole bunch of learnings. I don't think, from an operational challenge perspective, these are all learnings that we're going to say, okay, what are the things we could do better next year to make sure everybody feels like they're getting the value out of this that we intended to deliver, and we'll make adjustments accordingly and have an even more successful year, hopefully year over year.
Mm, I love that. Sounds like and next thing I was gonna ask you is if you, but sounds like you're already leaning into you will. And I know you know this too. I think some people have made up their mind that I'm anti-trade show, which I'm not even close. I just wanna make sure people understand what they're trying to accomplish before they go and then waste money, which you guys didn't. You were so deliberate and thoughtful and all of that. So it's given you already enough value that you want to go again, which is fantastic. So Nada was definitely successful and smart. Let's talk a little bit about since the shop has been in existence. Have dealers shared specific success stories that have stood out thus far?
Oh, yes. We've had quite a few success stories. And in fact, I spoke to one of them at NADA who said, I am so overwhelmed when I come to NADA, and I love the fact that I have the shop to help me sort through all this. So just the dealers that are using us, the ones that know about us and the ones that are taking advantage of what we have to offer today, they really, really like this concept of sorting through and getting peace of mind from the credibility that we deliver through our vetting process. So that's kind of a big picture, top line, how we're helping dealers. Specific success stories. We had one dealer that has no security cameras. They had nothing protecting their dealership lot. They had just nothing. And we put them in touch with one of our vendors, Virtual Guard, and they're considering their solution for their dealership lot, and they didn't really know about it before.
Yeah,
We have over 500 of our dealers have taken advantage of our Amazon Business Prime specific partnership, where our dealers are being offered something that there doesn't exist in the industry right now, which is free Amazon Business Prime for their dealerships, which almost every dealer uses Amazon. It's usually people's personal account. So this is a real easy thing, and it makes the finance organization, whether it's a controller, a CFO, or a whole team of finance professionals, makes them really happy because they have control over the spending. They have next level Amazon reporting, and it helps them with all the things that they need in their dealership operations, whether it's computer peripherals or paper or break room supplies or whatever it is. It makes it easier and better for them, and it's completely free for 2 years. So that's helped dealers a lot.
that's a great opportunity for dealers, no doubt about it. What kind of feedback have you received from dealers at NADA or even before or maybe after that are relative to some of the updates, new features that you've maybe even incorporated as you guys have continued to put the shop into the market?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. That's a great question. And we're constantly asking dealers for feedback. We have a dealer advisory board, and every single time we talk to them, I'm asking them for feedback for the shop. Our board is giving us feedback, and then just dealers that we go visit when we're out in the markets talking to the dealers, they've given us some incredibly great feedback. Everything from very specific things like Can you summarize the agreements with the vendors, which is something we'll be building into the platform? What are the key terms that are in the contracts? Because we know it's hard to sort through all the different legal agreements that everybody comes up with, and we're going to be providing that very shortly in the shop. Make it frictionless. We have a dealer in South Florida who said, yeah, I would use this if you make it frictionless. So we're working very hard to upgrade our platform. We already upgraded it to Shopify, but we are working on a lot of technological advancements to make it a truly excellent experience for the dealers where they're able to sort through information, filter, and find things quickly. Still have a little bit of ways to go on that, but we're working very diligently to give them the experience that they all expect and want. And then when it comes to vendors, dealers are very savvy. They know their business. A lot of them are using new, innovative, early entrants, and they've seen success. So often they say to us, could you have more things that we could try? Because we can't always get that. And we'd like to have visibility into how they help other dealers, maybe in their markets, maybe in other markets. So the access to new and innovative companies is something that we're intensely focused on, as well as, different areas. So things like commercial vehicles, very, very important to a subset of all dealers. We have one of our highest performing vendors in the shop is incredibly valuable to our commercial dealers, Work Truck Solutions. We're so excited to offer that to our dealers, and they're using it. So those are the types of recommendations that and the feedback that we've received. We take it all. When I go out into the market, what I absolutely love about the dealers is they tell you the truth all the time. And I tell them, don't worry, we can take it. I personally have the skin of an alligator. So bring it on and tell us what you're thinking so that we can incorporate it into our planning for the future of the shop.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys have done a great job already of expanding the comfort and confidence zones of dealers as they understand the shop, how it will work to their benefit. But for those dealers who are still on the fence, they're on the outside still, what would you say is the biggest change or the thing that might be that where they don't know and it might help them?
So I think one thing I can't say enough is that the shop is built for dealers. We have 3 principles: dealers first, integrity, and excellence. And dealers first means that everything that we're doing is built for the dealers. So when they often say, well, how can I trust you've got me the best deal with this vendor? And we say to them, we are negotiating, if not the very best pricing in the market, close to the best pricing, and you're getting good terms. We've validated all of them, and we have your back. That peace of mind is what we're trying to deliver, and we need to be focused on that and sharing that information so that over time, dealers know that we have their best interests at heart, because we know that if we make dealers more successful and more profitable by providing them with excellent solutions at negotiated prices and negotiated terms, then we will be successful too. So truly, dealers first is what I want all of the dealers to know.
I love it. Beth, this has been a fantastic conversation. So thanks for joining us in the shop. For those
Thank
of you that are our listeners and our viewers, if you're ready to take another step with the shop, it's easy. Head to theshop.com. It's your go-to marketplace for Ford dealers and Lincoln retailers. And we'll be back here with more episodes featuring trusted partners, folks just like Beth, who help you run smarter, drive growth, and stay ahead in a changing market. Until next time, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Thank you, Beth Hill. We'll see you back here really soon in the shop.
Thanks, Sean.